Welcome back, tennis obsessors, to another video where, as you can see from the title, we will be comparing the new Head Speed Tour and the new Vcore 95. I have separate in-depth reviews on both of these rackets on the channel, and I'll leave a link in the description down below if you want to go check that out. Both these rackets are set out to give you good control, but which is better all around? Let's find out.
Like I did with the most recent Vcore comparison on the channel, this is a new format where I compare the rackets doing drills to keep it in a controlled environment. Each racket was strung with the Solinco Tour Bite Soft in the mains and the Tru Pro Pure Rush in the crosses.
So, starting off with forehands. So the Speed Tour has a faster forehand purely because it's lighter, so it goes through the air that bit quicker. But the 95 Vcore has that bit more spin. And not only does it have a bit more spin, I feel like it can hit flatter a lot better than it can with the Speed Tour. Alongside being able to hit flatter, it's way more forgiving than the 97-inch head. I know this is 95, being Yonex and having that extra forgiveness, you can really tell the difference. I will say that I felt like I was getting a bit more of a consistent shot off this 95 than I did the 97. Hitting slightly off center, it did go a little erratic, especially because I'm going for every single shot and just creaming them ball after ball. So I think I'll give the forehand to the Vcore 95.
A lot of people use the Pure Rush in the mains of their stringing setups, as it's useful for adding power and comfort without losing the control. But I find that it works nicely as a cross for softening up setups whilst blending power and control. It allows you to put an edge string in the mains to give you that bit of extra spin, but also blending in multiple different aspects of the game.
Which has the better backhand? I would give it to the 95 because of the added weight and the stability of the racket. It means when you come through and you hit slightly off center, it's a little more forgiving, whereas the 97, you can really feel it buckle in your hand just because of how headlight it is. Direction wise, I'd say the 95 is also better just because of the bit more control I have over the ball. Feels like I can just put it where I want most of the time. And of course, spin factor, again, I'm going to give it to the 95. And surprisingly, the power I'd say was better the 95 than it was the 97. So all in all, I'm going to give it to the 95 as having clear, better backhand.
If you want to get your hands on the Tru Pro Pure Rush or any other Tru Pro strings for that matter, then head on over to the Tru Pro Europe official webpage, linked down below in the description, and use the discount code OBSESSION at checkout for 20% off.
Which has the better slice? Both have decent slices. I will say the Speed Tour has a lot more of a consistent slice. I think the headlight of the racket makes it easier to whip and get under and get that bit of spin on the ball. I will say the 95 seems to have more of a powerful slice that goes through the air, but less consistent. Occasionally it can just ping up in the air or go in the net. So I think overall I'm going to give it to the Speed Tour for the predictability and consistency of a good deep slice. Looking at the drop shot, I think you can also tell the Vcore 95 has a better one than the Speed Tour. The added feel of the 95 and weight in the hoop makes it easier to control the ball than it does with the 97 because of how whippy the 97 is. Also, the added percent technology in the Vcore creates a better feel and connection to the ball overall than the Speed Tour has. I'd say it's easier to get a shorter angle and low over the net drop shot with the 95 than it is with the Speed Tour on both forehand and backhand. So as we can clearly tell, I'm giving the drop shot to the 95 Vcore. So which racket has the better volleys? It depends what type of volley you are hitting. If you're having a hard shot blasted at you and you either need to take the power out of it or punch through the ball, then the 95 is better than the 97. The added stability of the frame and the weight makes it so much easier to block the shot without it bucking your hand like the 97 does. But if you have a slower ball, you're just trying to cut short angles with it and drop it dead, then the 97 is better because of the added maneuverability of the frame. And as you saw on the backhand side, it's way easier to get a cleaner connection with the 95 than it is with the 97. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd give it to the 95 because it can do the short angles better than the 97 can block hard shots.
Like I did with the Vcore comparison, I've shown you my first 5 serves with each racket uncut to keep it a fair test.
So which has the better serve? I think very close, but the 97 Speed Tour I think takes it over the 95. Just felt like there was a bit more pop in my serve because of the headlight of the racket, make it easier to snap and pronate on the ball. Also hitting kick serves easier with the Speed Tour because you can brush up the back of the ball that bit quicker. Because of the isometric head shape and the overall forgiveness of the new Vcore, I will say if you hit off center with it, it's a lot better than it is if you hit off center with the Speed Tour. I said in my review I didn't like it so much, but I will revise that statement. But if you're just looking at consistent serving, the Speed Tour takes it. As always, thank you for watching the video. If you want to see either of those rackets compared to any others, or if you'd like to see some different stringing setups in there, then leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to get onto that. And while you're down there, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. It does really help the channel out. And I will see you in the next one.